Jono,
Oh,
good evening. All right, we're waiting for Billy and them to join. Hi, everybody. Good evening. We are starting this one a little bit sooner than usual, just to get all of us online. I know Billy and Dickson said they are ready and going to log on as we speak. I think we have them. Dickson Sakaya, here we go. Okay, we're all early, but that is not Dickson. That is Billy.
There you go.
Hello, Team Kenya. How you guys doing?
Good, man.
Jumbo.
Jumbo.
Can Dickson, Billy, can you guys hear me? And Johnny, you can hear everybody as well, eh?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay,
Sorry,
fantastic.
everybody, but I sort of like bullied my way into this one, mainly because I haven't done a webinar yet, and I've had extreme amounts of guilt over the last 3 months. So I thought I'd join this one.
Chose the right one to do it.
With my three favorite people.
Billy and Gerry, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, for you guys still joining up, good evening. This is the first panel discussion that we've had on the webinars. And the idea with this one was, let's just talk Kenya, because with everything going on in the world right now, it's nice for us to get kind of a different look and opinion on things. And right now, we would be preparing for a Mara season. It would be kind of the highlight of my year if we could literally pack up and go and visit Dickson and the guys right now. But such is life. So what we're going to do is we'll just give a bit of a quick intro. I know there's quite a few people here that have been to camp with us, that have joined and have met Dickson and Billy. So guys, the question, Laura, I see you're online as well. Good evening. Morag, hey. Great. This is from TikTok. Morag's going to join us next year in the Mara. It's amazing. So there's a couple of people here that will be joining us in the Mara. Some people that have joined us in the Mara. And what we're going to do is, as always, guys, if you've joined me on the webinars, the Q&A I'm going to leave closed. I will go back to it every once in a while. So if you have dedicated questions for myself, Dickson, Billy, Jono, anything to do with Kenya, the Maasai culture, the Maasai Mara, the Wild Mara camp, just drop them in the Q&A. And I will leave the chat function open so that you guys can engage with us as we go. I'm going to give it another minute or so, and then we can get stuck in from there. For now, quickly, just while we're introing, and remember, this is going onto YouTube as well. So if you miss any of the details, then you can view this on the YouTube channel later on. I am going to take you to the Wild Eye website later on in this webinar, just to show you some pictures of the migration and what we do. But any questions, you guys know how to get hold of us. For now, just while we're waiting, and as an intro, Billy, I'm going to start with you, then Jono, then Dickson. Just give everybody a quick 2 to 3 minute introduction of who is Billy.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Billy from Wild Eye. Currently quarantined, but off quarantine and everything, and the whole crazy epidemic. I run the Wild Eye Kenyan team, and I run all the logistics all the way from when you get to Nairobi and all the way to our camp. I'm sure I've met most of the people in this webinar. I'm hoping so. And yeah, I hope you have a good time. Thanks.
Absolutely. And congratulations, Billy. You're a brand new father. How is Savannah doing?
That's been very exciting. I'm 1 month old father. So far, so good. I'm loving it. Her name is Savannah, for those who don't know. And yeah, she's a very lovely baby.
That's awesome. Congrats, B.
A few
Really cool.
Sleepless nights, but I'm loving it.
That's awesome. Jono, seeing it's your first webinar, for the people who don't know, who's Jono?
I'm Jono. I'm from Wild Eye. I look after admin in the office, so I don't get out much. Now I've had like a long association with the Kenyan team, starting up together with Gerry, Andrew, starting up the Kenya operation. Obviously, the Maasai Mara, Kenya, Dickson, Billy, and all the team are very close to my heart, very close to my family's heart, and that's why I wanted to barge in on the seminar, because that's how important you guys are to me. Very disappointed with obviously what's happening, missing everybody in Kenya terribly, but you know what, this will pass, and we'll all get together and we'll have a proper cold Tusker on the banks of the Mara River, and it's going to be oh so sweet. So for all of us,
Tusker is gonna, oh man, could be amazing.
It's going to go down singing the national anthem.
Dixon, you might even join us with a Tusker for that first one, eh?
Good luck with competing.
Absolutely. Just some of the comments coming in here. Kim, Laura says hi to the whole family. Kim, who's joined us, disappointed to miss this season, but I'll be back in 2022. The 2021 dates that worked for me filled up very quickly. So for those of you that are listening to this, whether you're on YouTube or live with us on the webinar, they do fill up quickly, so don't wait. Franz from Malarba says, hi, Billy. Good to hear from you guys. Hope you remember me from Mara, September 2019 with Andrew and Johan. That's Franz from Malarba. And Phil says, congratulations, Billy, on your daughter. So there we go.
Thanks, Phil.
Awesome stuff. Right, Sakaya, Dickson, over to you. For the people who do not know you, first of all, they must not follow us on Instagram because you have featured in one or two of our posts. Tell people, who is Dickson Sakaya?
Okay, thank you. My name is Dickson Sakaya from Wildai. For sure, I'm very happy to talk with you now and have my moment now with you guys because usually we know that you guys were busy than usual. So I can say that because of we miss you guys and we are in a lockdown here in Kenya, but it's look like a lockdown. Look like some goats see the leopard, so we separated. So this office is very empty because of all of us we chase away and going to hide ourselves about Corona. So Corona is like we see Corona like goats see the leopard, so we run away about Corona. So I'm really happy to talk with you guys, and I know some of the people just keeping on following me with Instagram sometime or webinar. I missed a lot of many things by this moment now because usually we are running up, go down to Maasai and Mara, especially me. I'm in a very tough position at this moment, at this particular month of beginning of June, because we are there with the whole staff at Mara setting up the whole camp. Sometimes other staff, they look me, Dickson is coming on this side, they hide on the other side. So, because I miss all that, and that's a part of my work. So I enjoyed it, but I miss. And I really happy to chat with you guys now, face to face. We can say things many.
Dickson, so for people who don't know, I mean, some of the people that are watching and listening have met you and they've been to the camp. Can you quickly just explain, when did you meet Jono and myself? When did your journey with Wild Eye start?
When I go back to remember that, I remember 2011, we met with you guys, and that time I don't know how to speak English. I remember the guy was who was in charge of everything at that tournament of 2011. Whenever you guys come back from game, you just telling us just put showers for the guests. That time I don't know Jono, I don't know Gerry, I don't know Andrew. But what I remember, just you guys were busy to do downloading your images, whatever, all that. And then I just come and say, Gerry or Jono, shower is ready. That's the only thing I can able to tell you. And then after you talk to me about other things, questioning me, I just smiling and then I go. But I know, yes, I told you that shower is ready. So
I was ready. Dickson, can I stop? Do you remember, Jono, you remember this? The first year, so most of our contact was with Dickson and with Francis, with Tenke, the barman. And Francis could speak okay English. Dickson's English was okay. Right now we can't keep you quiet. Now you just go, brrr, almost like me, right? But in that initial stages, I remember the one thing I remember from our first year is we met Dickson, and Jono and I, we were enthralled with the Maasai culture. It was literally like stepping into a movie, right? But I remember then, Dickson, and you're going to laugh at this, the only thing I remember from that first couple of days is if we said dinner is at 8 o'clock, like 1 minute before 8 o'clock, Dickson would come and say, come guys, dinner, go. And we would say, no, we're just going to finish the Lightroom quickly. And Dickson's like, now, come. We were very scared of you that first year, Dickson.
Was that 2012? Because in 2011, Mike and Judy had eaten all the dinner.
Oh, too good. Too good. We've grown a lot, hey, Dickson.
Sorry, because that's the beginning of me, and I realized something going wrong here because my boss don't mind about the guests. So to me, when I come to say people dinner's ready, I just want to tell them to be sure because maybe dinner can be finished with my container can be empty without my guests coming in. So that's the beginning things I just learned earlier because I want to mind about people to eat. So I don't mind about myself alone, and I don't mind about my boss alone. I mind the people who are there, and I saw the way they are busy. They are downloading whatever. The whole day they are not there in the camp. So I just thinking in my heart, how are these people going to? What are they going to eat? And they are on our hand to get something to eat through us. So if I myself am going to delay without calling them, come. This food can be finished. So what it looks like awkward to me to see people just walk away without eating. So that's the thing I learned earlier.
I remember that first year with Judy and Mike. So we would, as hosts, so Andrew and I was hosting, Jono was there. So we kind of, the first time we met you was actually the very first official Wild Eye Safari. That was the first one. So Kenya, I mean, Wild Eye has a kind of a birthplace in Kenya, if you will. So we started there. But I remember that one night they had ribs for dinner. Now, by the time, because I normally hold back, right? Family hold back. So I'm a guide, I'm hosting. So I would hold back, let the guests go first. And when I got to the buffet, and there was the silver thing with where the ribs were supposed to be, imagine Casino and Salash both cleaning up ribs, right? That's what it looked like. There was nothing in there. It was just these bones. It was like, what the hell? Sure, Dickson, we've come a long way, hey, Dickson.
Remember that the container of that box of white wine and red wine, they just open like a pipe like this. Yeah. It's just keeping on saying, leave it, just bring it back to my tent. So I just asked, remember Paco, father of Elena, I just keep on asking, he's a boss of the company. Paco, how are we going to handle this? The guests are coming, they need drinks, and then he tell me again, then talk to Judy, because I don't want to talk to Judy. And then I say, this is a very big issue to me because you are a boss, like Mike. So I just come to cry to you as a Maasai because I can speak to you, Ma, and you are also still arguing me, go back to Judy. So it's a big tricky there. So, sorry.
Just to confirm, Jay, just to confirm, did you guys drink box wine?
Only for the first half an hour. And then that other guy and Paul had to go to Serena and buy and spend all their profits on bottles because they served us box wine.
Because the people, our guests on that first year, when they had box wine for the first half an hour, it was just like, okay, we just looked at each other and said, no, this is not going to work. And that's when we went to Serena and we sorted that out. We sorted that out very quickly. So don't get any ideas, Billy. When you're doing stock take for next year, don't get any ideas. Dickson, quick one for you. Guys, if you have any questions for us, pop them in the chat or in the Q&A. We'll bring it up. For you, Dickson, let's just fast forward quickly. So from that first year, some of the stuff we're joking about now, right? From that first year until I was with you guys November last year when we closed camp after an amazing season, right? For Dickson, for you that have been involved every single step of the way, what for Dickson has been the biggest change in the Wild Eye camp from your point of view?
When I sit and think and I compare all those years, beginning of Wild Eye up to last year when we are together, one thing I can say that all the members of the staff who are there working with us, they enjoy it a lot. And they are very free to talk with people because we don't limit the way people talk to the guests. So I can assure that what we are doing or what we are talking mostly is what I tell people that make sure that we take care of our people who are coming in. That's the way that's why we are here as a Wild Eye. And we want to take every single moment to take care, to look, highlight with the guest. So it's easier for us to manage all the things together, or to move, or to work. It's easier. So I can say that beginning of what I have to last year, I can say 100% is a big change to me. And,
yeah. Can I, Jono, and maybe you can kind of just jump in on the back of this. For me, one of the big things, Dickson, and this is a big compliment to you, but I want to kind of just pull it towards the Maasai culture here, is during the first couple of years, when we were moving from Kiboko to Darisha and Ndlovu and up and down and up and down, there was always an element where I would have to, for example, host a week. Jono would have to host a week. Marlon, Andrew, Trevor, Michael, they would have to host a week. And there was always a part of me that would be worried about the guests, and I would be teaching and motivating and teaching them stuff. And then I would be also worried about what's happening in the kitchen. And is the food going to come out on time? And are the beds made and everything? And for me, last year, something happened. We know what happened, but something clicked. And it's the first year, Dickson, that you and your team at camp took over everything. And it was the first year in all of the time where I could, and most of our guides, all of our guides said the same. They could literally sit back and focus on the guest, because you guys managed the camp almost, and I mean this in the most amazing way, almost like a little Maasai village. It's harmony, there's respect, everything happens, there's no stress. And that, to me, and a lot of our guests, guys, for those of you that have been there, I think you would have noticed that. It feels like you're coming to someone's home. It doesn't feel like you're visiting a lodge. Jono, your thoughts?
Absolutely, and I think it's pretty much on without planning that way. It's definitely something that I'm glad that and I'm very pleased that we created. That it's not this sterile, insipid type of environment where, yes, some of it is unplugged and some of it is not 100% perfect, but in a way that adds to the authenticity of what we want to provide. It's real, it's truthful, it's sincere. It's something that, and I think we're going forward into post-COVID, is it's something that I really think people will want to do, is rather reconnect with nature, reconnect with their inner senses. And I'm sorry if I'm getting on a bit of and really like take yourselves out of your old into the new. And it's got to be about nature, and it's got to be about adjusting your true north or whatever you want to be. But that is unwittingly, and what we've created is an environment where we're all family, we all respect one another. We've created something unbelievable that we're all very proud of. We've created relationships within the Mara Conservancy that I'm sure we're all very proud of, because you don't want to go into an environment where it's take. You also want to give a lot back, so you can have a symbiotic relationship with your partners, because we're all stakeholders in the Conservancy. Even our guests are stakeholders in the Conservancy. And for those that have donated to the Mara Conservancy cause, I'd really appreciate your help. But it's become a genuine, feel-good, happy place. And it soothes my soul. And as you said, this is the first year. Going back years, I used to love going to the Mara, but I used to have a knot in my stomach every day, or every morning when I woke up for coffee, which people were going to complain the lights weren't working, or this wasn't working, or that wasn't working. Oh my God.
Yeah. Just a quick one here from Kim, Jono. So Kim says, the team definitely seemed more relaxed and worked like a well-oiled machine. Such a warm, homey feeling last year. Especially loved the larger bar area, which is the new lounge tent. I spent a lot of time with Tenke there last year and can't wait to do it again. Now, I've said to a lot of people that, and I want to come back to and I'm going to show everybody a quick video now, but with all the trips that we host, a lot of people come back on safari because of the guides hosting it. Me or Marlon or Andrew. So they come because you give off a certain energy. right? Or they come because the wildlife is so amazing. And I say this without a single iota of doubt, but people come back to our camp because of the culture that we've got there. And that's largely inspired by the Maasai evenings. So, Dickson, can you just, for people who don't or haven't experienced it yet, at once a week, and normally on the last night, we do a Maasai, or no, sorry, we changed that. We do like a culture evening. Can you just explain to someone who hasn't been there yet, Dickson, what is that culture evening about?
The meaning of beginning of talking about the time we begin of wildlife. Gerry and Jono Andrew, they suggest from 2011, you guys just do as the way you guys are doing as Maasai culture, and we are doing beginning of that, and we see that thing we are doing in our heart that yes, we like to show people how the culture is. So we grow and we build that relationship or that culture up to where we are last year. And beginning of the 2011, let me go back a little bit. I don't know how to explain. I don't know how to explain to people what's the meaning of that. But I just keeping on very closer with my colleagues like Jono, Gerry, Andrew, Marlon, and very closer to you guys, keeping on listening how the way you guys talk to people. And I like in my heart that I want to be in future life, I like to come to be, I can speak with people. So I can say that one because that's the way I just beginning to learn how to speak. So beginning now last year we are talking about culture, and we talk normally we build first of all whenever people come in for a while in Gishui camp, we have to pray. To thank, most of the people asking me why we pray. We saying that we thank God because all the way you guys you fly to come to different current countries, and we want to make sure that instead of dancing as the other lodges doing, we want to thank God. So we have been in a very good umbrella for that short time of a week. So we can also build that way. The prayer open our doors clearly so we can manage all the things in an easier way. And we like to do that one also as a wild eye. That's the thing, as a wild eye, we welcome people. Then about culture, we are sometimes slaughtering goats each and every once a week to show people how the way it is, what we are doing in culture. And we talk many things about culture, about how we married, how we divorce, all those are the things I can also keeping on telling people. And it's easier to me because I know what I'm telling people. Just sometimes just a break of my tongue is not speaking well English, but I understand all the things I want to explain to people. So somebody like Ken.
Okay, I think there's a small break in Kenya. So just while they're getting back online, the interesting to me thing, John, and I think you've said this to you as well, is sometimes during these Maasai evenings where Dickson kind of talks about why they wear red, why they jump, and we'll get to that now, but then people can ask questions as well. I must have seen that ceremony as such, I don't know, 100 or more times, same as you, right? But every single time it seems like there's more. The depth to it is just amazing because it just keeps going more and more. Yeah. It's never the same.
I mean, I think that's the breadth of, the broadness of their culture is that, particularly last year, there was so much more that I learned and so much more that I was enthralled about and, like really loved listening to it. There's a lot more energy and what have you, but it was a lot more genuine and a lot deeper than in previous years where it might have got a little bit, and it was controlled by, and without going into those facts, but it might have been a little bit more controlled. But even that, and it's always interesting to come from a culture of South Africa and learning about new cultures and how totally different they are to local cultures from a South African point of view. And I'm sure that goes for many cultures around the world. But how that and really those the cornerstones of their culture, mainly respect, really like I I love and I can really associate with just from my psychology.
Yeah. What I'm going to quickly do is we're just waiting for the guys to log back on. This is Africa, remember? So the internet comes and goes as it wishes. I'm going to quickly share. This is just a little excerpt for some of you to show you some of the Maasai evening that we have. So I'm going to just quickly share my YouTube screen with you guys here. I will then, if any of you want to watch this whole video, go to the Wild Eye YouTube channel and you can watch the whole video. It's a one we put together last year, but I just want to show you a little bit of this. This is filmed last year during one of these culture evenings after Dickson did his whole kind of discussion around the culture. Too good, eh?
Dickson, even though he's the senior guy, he still jumps the highest.
No, you can still rock it, eh? So that's just a quick an idea for you guys. So what happens is Dickson basically tells about the culture, just introductory stuff, and then we open it up to like a Q&A. And the beautiful thing for me is when they did this in the beginning, Dickson's English wasn't great, and it was very difficult, even for us to understand it. But to see him have grown in not just kind of if we had a camp manager, he would be it, but it's kind of more the elder, and how he's grown into the role and how he's now sharing his culture with so many more people. It's a beautiful thing to see. Just absolutely amazing. We're just waiting for these guys to come back. Guys, if you have any questions, keep firing them through. One I've just gotten in now as well is, why do the Maasai jump? Jono, would you like to have a crack at that one?
Apparently it's an exercise
experience.
They jump, and it's part of their exercise and keeping themselves in shape. They're obviously pastoralists by tradition, and they spend a lot of their time historically and even nowadays herding and tending to their goats and cows and cattle. And it's literally a get-together where they can just do some exercise and get some energy. It's not I don't think it's a warring thing or anything like that. Maybe in bygone eras it might have been a psyching up thing, but it's literally just an exercise. We'll push weights, or some of us will push weights. They jump.
Yeah. What percent? Okay, we'll get to that one. Lindsay, great question. We'll get to that now. The jumping of, and it's amazing how the Maasai culture is they're the small. I think if I'm speaking under correction here, there's 49 tribes inside of. Okay, so sorry, just an update from Billy. They've lost electricity everywhere, so they're out of electricity currently. They'll be back with us hopefully shortly. Just came back on, but of all the tribes in East Africa, the Maasai is actually the smallest. They make up like 1%, yet they almost define that entire kind of region. And it's the cool thing is to see how many people of our guests come and they have to do like the jump, whether it's in Africa and they're doing these jump pictures with the Maasai and how they get involved with the whole thing. But the dancing stuff that I just showed you now, and I would suggest you guys go and look at that video on the YouTube channel. But for those of you that have traveled to South Africa or Southern Africa, Botswana, South Africa, Zimbabwe, the dancing that the guys do, it's a lot more, and I think, Jono, you said it's like wartime. It's a lot more militaristic. It's very kind of aggressive, like the impies banging the floor and in your face, where that Maasai culture it's almost like trancey. It's like this soft vibe. It's almost a peaceful trance-like vibe. And I think that transcends through the whole culture. From what we know about these people.
Yeah. I think, as you say, it's like a respect point of view, and they respect life, and they respect life, their own lives. They respect the lives of their families. They respect lives of their cattle and sheep, and so that's what I love about it, is that the cornerstone of everything about their culture is respect. Another question came up here about from Lindsay. What percentage of Maasai villages no longer kill lions? Well, you know, they don't kill lions anymore from a coming of age, from becoming a warrior point of view. I'm sure there are incidences and pretty remote and a lot more remote than they used to be, where they protect their livestock from lions, and they kill lions from that manner. But you know, there's quite an efficient way between the government and the counties and the livestock owners where they do pay an amount of money for if a cow is eaten by one of the lions. But they don't practice that tradition anymore, where they have to kill a lion to become a warrior and prove their manhood.
Yeah, I think what you said there is how the Kenyan government is managing these protected areas and the Maasai villages, that creates the buffer zone between the protected areas and then civilization, if you will. Just interesting from Phil here. Phil was at camp as well. I think it was last year, Phil. Phil says, I have to say that night at camp, learning about the Maasai culture from Dickson was just as incredible as seeing all the different animals for the first time. Now, I mean, we've been on safari in a couple of places around the world, and there's very, very, very few places that I can think of Madikwe or the Sabi Sands or Monopools. It's all about the wildlife. Now, the Maasai Mara has this wildlife, but then there's this element to it. And I think that multi-dimensional safari approach, that's the gold, Phil. That's what you're talking about, man. It is absolutely amazing. I'm just going to quickly check in on Billy here.
I'd like to all spare a thought for Dickson at the moment, because I can't imagine what he's going through. If you're 2 minutes late for dinner, you're in a lot of trouble. So the fact that he can't keep on this webinar, he must be dying.
And for him, he came all the way from Kajiado, which is it's a good drive for him to get there. So shame, he went all the way and now the power's out. So yeah. What is the question we've got here? Was it challenging for the government to persuade the Maasai to stop killing lions, becoming a warrior or coming of age? Jono, your thoughts?
No, I don't think so. I think it was, I don't know how long and how prolonged the process was, but I think the convincing was that the wildlife and lions are more important to the whole country, irrespective whether you're Kikuyu, Maasai, Lu, or whatever tribe you are, because that is what, you know, I think it's 13% of the GDP of Kenya is derived from tourism. Sadly, going to be a lot lower this year. But yeah, so I think it was just a really an understanding and a more deeper understanding and a more acceptance from their point of view that it wasn't a difficult transition. There wasn't mass demonstrations like you might get. I'm used to from a South African point of view.
Yeah.
So it was an understanding, and it was a discussion, and that's the beauty about the cultures. You can discuss things in a deeper way that people will understand, and they'll accept your perspective. They're not going to disagree with your perspective on anything because it's not within their culture. They will understand it, and they will learn from it, and they'll agree with it, you know, and respect it.
Yeah. Billy.
Yeah.
Welcome back, guys.
Jesus, you must have had almost a heart attack.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. So the electricity just went off. So
yeah.
Did you put the solar back on?
Say what?
Did you put the solar on?
The solar has been running because we had issues with electricity.
Okay, so this is logistics that we're talking about. Okay.
Well, I mean,
guys, Dickson, it's great having you guys back. Thank you for joining us again. I'm going to throw you right in here, Dickson. We've got a question from Marie Ostrom. She was at camp with us, Jono. I think it was last year, Marie, 2 years ago. Time flies, I can't remember.
2 years ago, yeah.
So the question for you, Dickson, is she knows that Maasai knock out 2 teeth, right? Why do they do this? What is the meaning?
Thank you for that question, Maria. One is a mark of Maasai, and also We remove these two teeth because we mind about suffering, like when you suffer with any malaria or any other disease, and you can stab your mouth. Window, because some of the people say no. And we feed you with the liquid things by put a sharp thing like a horn of a dick, which is very sharp, or a goat, which is very straight. We cut at the end, and then we feed you with the liquid thing like milk, like soup, all that light things. So it's make you safer instead of injured again your mouth inside when you try to open to feed you with a lot of milk or with a lot of soup. We use that that time to feed you with that way. So that's another way we is a helpful for us when you suffer with any disease.
Okay. And then that's great. Just another question straight onto the Maasai. Why do they wear the red? People are asking, why do they wear the red?
People beginning of Maasai, they fight. So when even Maasai to Maasai, they fight for arguing with the cows or stolen with the cows, all that, or sometime about boundaries, or warriors eaten by lions or whatever, or injured by a spear. So a red cloth cannot shine when you injured with any accident of injured with anything. So the more you bleed, it's not shining like white cloth or blue cloth or whatever. So somebody want to try to come and help you at that time when you are injured, is not panicking the way he can handle you, because the red cloth cannot shine more about the more you bleed. So when you dress white cloth or blue, it is shining. So somebody try to help you is worried about that. Oh, maybe this guy going to pass because his bleed a lot. So that's the why we like it. Also, it's Maasai are people who are keeping on moving by following grass or water with the cows or goats. So we doesn't have enough water every time to wash our clothes, and the red cloth can sometimes cannot show a lot of dusty. So it keep also that way. So also that one, when you walk with the clothes which are red at night, you look like black. So it cannot shine at the moment. So
it's basically functional. It works. It hides injuries in the blood and it hides the dirt, and in the evening you can camouflage in. So it's a very functional type of wear.
Yes, and also we have those mostly we like red cloth and black cloth. Black cloth is the time we circumcise boys, they dress black. So whenever you see those boys who are dressing black cloth, you don't ask. You know these are new circumcised boys. So
at what age do they get circumcised, Dickson? At what age? 16
years old to 18. So that's the time as we build another age group. We circumcise at once. Maybe in a week we can circumcise maybe 400 or 600 boys or 800. So that's the age group. So we done. So they wear those black clothes maybe 2 months until they recover all those wounds of the knife. So
so when you see a young Maasai boy or male wearing black, you just leave him alone.
Yeah, because
he's in pain.
we don't leave him alone, but you know these are circumcised new generation who are coming on. So they still.
And you don't give him any problem then. You just don't give him problems.
Yes, no, and they are not allowed to and hunting cows in the bush. They are just at home feeding and whatever and playing, practice many things until the time we come to shape their hair accordingly the way the Maasai saying. We shape their hair, cut all of it, and then they start at that time to be a warrior. Even if he's going to school, we shave him and then he go join the school. So after he came back to school, he already knows that yes, I shift from this state to my age group now is a warrior. So you join their warrior. Even if I'm going to spend maybe 1 month at home, they spend with the age group away from their mothers, because we are not allow them to eat anything fat in the house.
Yeah. Okay. A question from someone. Why don't they circumcise the boys at a young age, like some other cultures? Why do they wait until 16 to 18? Is there a reason for that?
The reason for that, Maasai saying we want to circumcise boys at beginning 16 to 18. So when you have been circumcised, you are not allowed just keeping on surrounding your mom, asking her about food or whatever. And also you can also manage to drive your cows away, or your father's cow away, then handing them away from home. So we take care about that one. Instead of circumcise a boy who doesn't understand anything, it's not it's meaningless for us to circumcise under 16 years. So we wait until we know that this guy can draw a spear to defend cows. This guy can fight with any poachers, all that. So that's why we wait until we agree that yes, elders going to have a discussion, sitting and talking about how are we going now to have that type of we get a circumcise of this other age group. So that's why we wait until 16. So we manage about how you can draw the spear.
Okay, that makes sense. They just this is a longer question, but I'll kind of just pull it back a bit. Do you think so? For example, when you and Salash and Casino and James and Jackson, all of the guys that work at our at the Wild Mora camp, when you're not working at the camp, you go home and you live a traditional Maasai life. So you go home, you tend your cattle. For the people who've been watching my Keeping It Positive videos, you've sent some great videos of your wife doing work and the house and the donkey and everything. But do you think, and this is someone asked me this on email when they signed up for this, do you think that tourism, people coming to Kenya, to safari lodges, do you think they are changing the Maasai culture? Or do you think it's staying the same and the Maasai culture is staying true to what it was or is?
When I myself look at how the way people behave nowadays, I think in another future life come, this education come and change them. So they come, most of the age group now of this young generation now, they like to stay like .com. Okay, they can dress Maasai clothes, but if you see them deeper, as they were just keeping on sending you my photos, you see sometimes other guys are just dressing clothes instead of those Maasai shuka, Western clothes. Western. So it looks like people nowadays just concentrate about education. Yes, until the time as Maasai, we call them as an age group. We have this certain ceremony in this period. They remove all those clothes, they dress the Maasai clothes, they join that ceremony. After that one, those who are going back to school, they dress again their uniform, go back to school. But our laws cannot be 100%, they can be changing in a short time. It takes time to be changing on in several years to come, because of many things are very difficult for our culture to be changed. And we saying that respect is a key of life in us Maasai. Yeah. The respect of key is using stick to teach people. Instead of just talking by mouth like this, we beat them. So it's not
Sorry, I had a break in transmission there.
Discipline.
One question I want to ask is, and it was one of the things that really struck me was, in the Western world, when there are disputes and disagreements and it now be criminal disagreements, we run to lawyers. And we know in the Western world, lawyers rake up trillions of billions of dollars. I've spent a lot of money on lawyers, but just how you guys handle disputes within the Maasai tradition is a fascinating thing for me, that even when it becomes there may be an assault involved where somebody gets killed, how you sort that out without going to the police and without going to lawyers and without going to courts?
Okay, good question. As we saying that whenever you go to join those people who are learning like lawyers in the court, you spend a lot of time there, many years. Also, in our culture, we believe that the way as we sort it out, that's easier way, and it's true that the way we can sort it out instead of just going to involve other tribe in it to come and bring a lot of confusion. That the way as beginning of Maasai, we say that the way when you fight with somebody and you kill him, we have to pay 49 cows, and the number 9 is a blessing in a human being, because those are 9 holes in the body of a human being. But these 40 cows is just a charge of that problem coming on. But these 9 cows on top of 40 are the meaning of those holes of the human being. So beginning of Maasai, it's we wash you again to come clean, so we can join your group, or you can join your friend, because whenever you kill somebody, no one will want to stay with you until the time we finish about that one. So that's why we don't want to join about, and mostly when really watching about news of this country, it's not easy to see Maasai having a lot of cases in the news TV. So it's give us our humbleness to take care of all the families, all the community that way, instead of going to charge money in the court. So that's the one thing we know, that it's not easy to change.
Even in things like divorce or affairs where people steal your wife, or how do you resolve that? You're an elder, so I mean, is it resolved by physical stuff? Is it resolved by legal, lawyers, or how do you resolve that? Does everybody get together and talk about it and slaughter a cow, or how do you work that out?
I'm talking about, I finished to talk about killing, when you damage somebody and kill. But now I can, that's another question, how we can sort it out, the arguments of a lady when you married and maybe you want to divorce. To make a divorce, first of all, we want both family, they have to come and sit and discuss. Before families, your age group are coming maybe 3 times for discussion. The 4th time is the family, both family come and sit with maybe elders of your age group. So they come to sort out all that problem, to know why this thing coming on, why you guys want to do divorce, and they discuss. If the man who's bringing a lot of confusion to the family, you can tell your age group that, yes, I'm not, your age group, they can tell you that we are not going to allow, or we are not going to agree what you are telling us, because we discuss about this issue and we see you are the one who have the problem. So easier way, we have the land. So instead of this lady go to somebody else, he move from this village, build another new village for our own, away from the one you are staying together. And that's the easier way, because Maasai, you married 2 wives or 3 wives. So if one of them you are not going to, you want to do that divorce, your age group, they are not allow you. Children, they are not allow you, because Maasai looking deep about the children, and then they talk. We don't mind about how did you behave, stupidity you were, but we mind about future of these children or future of this lady. Instead of taking her like a donkey, when using like a donkey, and then at last minute say, I don't want you. We are not allowed that. So those are the things also we never hear in court about Maasai divorce. Yeah. We sort it out at home, and the easier way forever like that one.
Yeah, keep it at the elders level. Hey?
Then also, I can add one thing. If maybe I'm a poor person, but we are same age with my colleagues, and he want to give me her sister to marry. He talked to his dad that I want to give this daughter of me or my sister to somebody, and then he called me, come and talk what that. But that this my friend doesn't know me. They are very poor family. Their agreement of those both family come and discuss how am I going to marry that girl in 5 years. I have to get hunting cows of that family in 5 years. Because Maasai saying, sorry, because it's a long story. Maasai saying that you have 5 fingers, and whenever you go to ask a girl from other family you want to marry, they ask you, do you have a goat? Yes, one. Do you have a sheep? Yes. Do you have a donkey? Yes. Do you have a cow? Yes. So we top up you with 5, and the 5 is the lady. So those are the way as Maasai we talking deeper, even if you are educated, you are children, you are whatever, we talk about all that. Why? We say this 5 finger, the things can manage all the things you collect from outside and bring to the family. So these are another blessing hand of the family. So to plus this one, you have to have a lady, not your hand, but to have a lady.
Sure.
Excellent. From 2011, that's the first time I've ever heard that.
Exactly, same.
Beautiful.
But this is the thing, Jono. I mean, we've been spending so much time with you guys, Dickson, that, and I said to Jono when you guys went offline because of the electricity, that every single time I've seen your Maasai evening, right, I've learned something new, and I must have seen it 100 times. And there's just, I mean, you could only share so much of a culture in one night or even in a week with people there. So it's just, I mean, that's the first time for me as well. And also, when you did the 5 thing, just quickly count for me towards the screen, 1 to 10 in Maasai on your hands, please. You showed me this last time. I've never seen that before.
Okay, 1. That us we don't know how to write things in number, but we work with the action of fingers. So when somebody asks you, give me 1. You say, give me 2 is this way. 3 is this one.
3. Yeah.
3. 4 is this one.
4.
And this is 5.
5, yeah. That's different for other cultures, but we'll move on. Okay, let's go to 6 quickly.
6.
6, yeah.
Yes. The middle, the long finger or the middle of the hand is 7.
7, yeah. Down, yeah. 7. Okay.
8.
What's that? 8, like ninja, yeah.
Yeah. 9.
9.
10.
Come again?
10.
No, man. Now you're doing funny things. Yeah. Okay, see, but that, for example, I must have done 100 safaris with you, Dickson, and then last year is the first time I learned this. And that's the gold. We can keep on coming back. Quick question from Chris Bennett here. How old are the young people when they get married?
Sometimes it depends on the family, because if I myself am going to charge a girl from other family, and maybe I'm 18 years, no, 20 years, and maybe the girl I'm asking is 18 years, they allow me to move with her. So it's provided it's over 18. They are not allowed under 18 years.
So it must be older than 18, hey?
Yeah, more, that's much, because they say that you don't know what's going on about marriage, you don't understand anything, it's still a young, so yeah.
Okay. No, that's interesting. Billy, quick one for you. Someone asked earlier on, why do you have your teeth? You're not Maasai.
Yes.
That's great. Thanks, B. That was awesome. I was looking for that. So what tribe are you? And
Billy, welcome to the show.
You're not Maasai, Billy. Where do you fit in?
In Kenya, for those who don't know, we have 44 tribes, including the Asians. Yeah, but I'm from the biggest tribe. It's called the Kikuyu tribe. It's the biggest tribe in Kenya. Yeah, and we were the first tribe historically to be kind of westernized. My tribe, because among the first tribes that when the colonialists came in, among the first tribes they colonized and they worked with was my tribe, the Kikuyu tribe. We mainly lived in the central Kenya. So that's when you look at the map of Kenya, there's the central Kenya. That's where my tribe mostly were, and they call it the highlands because it was very fertile. All the farming, all the best farms and everything were from where I come from. And so when the white people came through, those are the first places they went to because they were interested in farming and big farms and all those kinds of things. So yeah, that's the tribe I come from. And I can tell you now, we've almost lost our culture and everything. We're very, very westernized. The only thing I would say in my tribe that is remaining, that we still follow very traditionally, is getting married, paying of dowry, and the whole getting married process. So that's the only thing I would say that is still remaining in my culture. And like the Maasai and other different tribes that still hold their culture.
Are there any other tribes within Kenya that are as true to their culture as the Maasai are?
Yes. You'd remember Penina?
Yes.
Of course, remember Penina. We had Penina in the past year. She's from the Samburu tribe, and all those we are divided in different regions around the country. Those tribes that originated from the same place as the Maasai still follow their culture very closely. The Samburus, the Turkanas, most of the coastal tribes still hold their cultures dearly. Like Pascal, of course you know Pascal.
Yes, one of our chefs at the camp.
Chef. Yeah, he comes from the Michikenda, who still also hold their cultures very dearly.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, it's just nice to have that context around it. Dickson, just a quick follow-up question for you on the marriage thing. Do Maasai people ever marry other people that are not from Maasai? So do they marry outside of the Maasai tribe?
Yes, some of these education people, they don't mind about the tribe. They mind about he get a lady who was educated like him, so he joined to be married. And whenever in our culture, whenever you marry from outside, you bring the lady, we don't want to hide behind him. So bring direct, we know, yes, she's married, bring both family, come and have a discussion. So both family, Maasai, they agree or they believe that you married whenever both family, they sit and discuss about deeper. So instead of just both of you both met and come and marry and stay like come and stay whatever. We want to be sure that yes, we married from white people or from Kikuyu or from Mijikenda or whatever, but bring somebody who their family, they came in to join us to discuss about deeper affairs of life.
You know what I find interesting, and I just thought about this now, but having spent time with you for the last 8 years, and I mean, being to your village, and every time you guys talk about something and I think the world right now is in a pretty messed up place, let's be honest. There's something to learn from the respect of the Maasai culture where come and let's discuss. It's a common theme. It's there all the time. And we've had it at camp when we've had issues. Come and let's discuss. And I think that openness to sitting and talking and respecting each other's opinion while you communicate, I think that's a beautiful thing. It's such a cool thing.
Yes. And that's why we like to come and discuss, sort it out, this hot issue, this is small issue. We understand the charges issues. That mean that, yes, we fight with Billy and I'm the one who was messing many times, maybe 3 times or whatever. Even if I'm an old person, they're my age, going to charge me something to give Billy. So
Yeah.
discussion come through all that. That's why we like to discuss things.
So age is not a respect, eh? So Billy's younger than you are. He's younger than I am, but I respect Billy not for his age or his culture or tribe or whatever, skin color. I respect Billy for what Billy does.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Yes.
That's a big deal, hey? That's a big deal.
Yes.
I think just kind of almost taking you to the end here, I think the interesting thing for me, and if I look, and again, I'm comparing this to all the other safari destinations we go to, there's very, very, very few other camps, if any, that I can think of off the top of my head, where people will, in between game drives, in between, before lunch, after lunch, in the evenings, at the campfire, stay after dinner, come early at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and just talk. And they're literally just talking to the staff. And it's that kind of, that inclusive communication process that we've created where people feel that they have access to the real thing. That to me is, we can't put a price on that. That is just amazing.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. It really is. Dickson, I'm going to ask you one lot. Actually, we're going to quickly do a round robin here before we end this off. Dickson, I'll end with you. But guys, for those of you on this, if you're listening to this on YouTube down the line, or you're with us live, if you would like to see a bit more of the videos, some of the stuff we've spoken about, the camp. Dickson, I've got one video where you took my GoPro and you did a walkthrough of camp. Remember that? And you kind of walked through the camp and you showed the whole thing. If you guys want to see those videos, please drop me an email tomorrow and I will send you links to all of those YouTube videos. But just to wrap this up, I mean, our whole world is upside down right now. We were supposed to be preparing for the Mara season, but we aren't at this stage because of Corona. However, there is the silver lining that there's always next year and the year after. So maybe can I go, Billy, Jono, Dickson, just give your thoughts on the current situation and why people should still think about the future and come to the Mara. Billy.
Of course, everyone is confused about the whole situation. No one knows what and how. And we've been having these discussions within us, and we kind of, you are in a situation where you don't even know how to plan. We've been structured in our minds that we always have plans and we can think about tomorrow. But this whole thing came with a different phenomenon where you can't even plan about tomorrow because you don't know what will happen tomorrow. Aliens may drop down. And so the biggest thing for me is that I've learned so many, because of being laid back and having more time to stay at home, think about stuff. The biggest take home for me with the whole Corona thing has been to reflect more on life, to think about the more important stuff that sometimes we get so busy in life and the world is chaotic. You don't think about family. Okay, we think about family, but you don't get to spend some quality time with family. I've been lucky enough to enjoy the first few months. I'm sure I'll enjoy the first few months with my daughter. I'm sure if you are in the Mara right now, she would be seeing very little of me because
lots of Zoom meetings, eh?
Yeah, such things. I've learned to really value such things, spending time with family most of all, and also getting to communicate with people more. Before this, we are so busy. Even to call someone and just check up on them, you didn't even have time to do that. And we've learned to do that. And I look forward to a world where we can continue that culture. Like you can remember to call your friends, remember to check up on people, have more value for family, and everything. So I look forward to next year, most of all, because I'm sure it will be a very beautiful year. Just something I was talking to Dickson earlier today is that I don't know what the wildebeest will think when they get to the Mara and all those vehicles around the river are not there.
It's just an open crossing. There's no vehicles.
Don't even say it. There's going to be crossings that are going on for days. They'll go on for days. And there'll be no
Thanks,
one.
Billy.
Thank you, man. Thanks for that, Billy.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
you've got a regional pass though, Billy.
Yeah.
we should give Billy a camera and make him go film the migration for us this year.
Best you believe it. Yeah.
We locked down in Nairobi. I can't even go to the Mara right now. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Awesome. Now, Billy,
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
awesome.
so-
Jono, before we go to you here, I've got a comment from Franco Malherbe saying, what really impressed me was the sincere affection and friendliness of all the Mara staff 100% of the time I spent there. I really felt that they were family and brings back many lasting memories. That's great. I mean, and that just echoes every single one of us when we come back from that place. So, Jono, your kind of final thoughts on where we're at and looking forward?
Where I'm at, yeah, no, listen, it's been an interesting time. I think it's brought out a lot of vulnerabilities, which haven't necessarily been a bad thing. You know, it's a time, as Billy said, it's a time to reflect, and you know, it's a time to like really, in your own mind, establish what's important, establish what is meaningful to you, and you know, I've no doubt we're going to come out of this stronger. And I don't want to give you a philosophical idea of where I think we're going to be, but I think it's, you know, it'll pass. We'll all get stronger. It'll grow relationships. It'll unify us in a lot more deeper way. But it's, you know, it's challenging, you know, and it's and I think the difficulty is it's not seeing the migration. It's not seeing the staff, but it's not being part of that and missing a part of your life that's been so important for you for the last 7-9 years, whatever it's been, that you're going to be missing out this year. But you've got to accept those things, you know. These things that happen in life, you know. Throughout history, you know, if you were born in the early 1900s, you went through the Spanish two world wars and a World Cup, if you were English. But, you know, so it's, you know, these things are there to not test us, but it's one of those things. And you know what? We'll return next year. We'll return stronger. We'll return happier. We'll return more revitalized and more belief in ourselves and our business.
100%. And I think, John, I think you and I might have mentioned in the office as well. I mean, this is going to be officially, since we got to the Mara the first time in 2011, this is the longest we would have not been there. Yeah. And just imagine how sweet it is going to be when that airplane door opens at Serena Airstrip and you see Jimmy and Jackson and Dickson and all the guys waiting. It is literally, it's going to feel new. It's going to feel like for the first time. And I think this time has amplified the appreciation for small things.
Well, that's what I said. I think it's going to change a lot of people's ways. Do we want to go to a big lodge, or do we want to go to a big hotel, or do we want to go to a crowded beach? No, we want to go and deal with real people in a natural environment where you're going to reconnect with nature. I'm not saying this because I'm trying to sell it, but I really, really believe that. And I think what we've done in the Mara camp is going to really play on a lot of people's emotions, because they want to get down to ground level, you know, forget about the highfalutin big boardroom discussions and this and blah, blah, blah. They want to get to ground level and sit around the fire, chat to Dickson, have a gin and tonic, and like talk about things in life that we never, ever, we took for granted, but are real and are so important.
100%. I was chatting to someone this week, and I mentioned 2 particular trips that I do each year that excite me. Now, for those of you that have been following me for a while, you'll know the one is Svalbard. There's just something to me in that Arctic environment that makes me feel alive. And the other one is the Mara, because of how it grounds you and how it pulls you back to what's important. And that to me, I mean, you can't replace that. So Dickson, kind of just to wrap us up from your side, I've got another comment just quickly for you here from Araya Rademacher. When you arrive at camp, it feels like a family. That also makes leaving so hard. Thank you. I can't wait to visit again next year. 4 weeks. 4 weeks. God, I want to stay there for 4 weeks. Dickson, so just from your side, just what has this Corona time meant for you, and what are you looking forward to next year getting back to camp?
First of all, the way the situation is by now is difficult. We are all of us. We are in a dark. We look like we are walk in a dark way because of all this pandemic of Corona everywhere. And I think the way also as the Corona coming in and it break all the plan of this year and it stop all the plan of this year. As we thank God because the reason coming from God, we don't know, no one understand. But we saying that we wait, when God willing us next year, we come stronger, as the way Jono said, happier and new to build another new way. So it's something which is difficult for us to talk because a lot of questions coming in and a lot of answers coming in. Because also the wildebeest, as the way Bill is saying, they are come to surprise because no vehicle. Also the bank of the river is going to be finished because wildebeest can cross maybe 800 in a one way. So the bank of the river just finished going down. So I think everything have a lot of changes in next year. Also the lion are very happy. All the nature is very happy because no one disturbing them. Even if they want to wait to kill and then crossing point, no any vehicle, no any bicycle, no nothing. Even if they want to climb the tree, wait for the gazelle come and the shade coming down, no any vehicle. So I think everything about nature is happy. So us as a human, we complain about this because we know why we are normally being there, getting a lot of time, enjoy, and pictures, all that. But we thank God because when God willing us again, we come strong. Because Corona is disturbing everywhere. And we worried about the way we heard from news about the Switzerland, whatever. A lot of death, whatever, a lot of all that. But that I can say because it's difficult, definitely difficult. Yeah.
What are you looking forward to most for next year?
Most of the thing I just worry is the bank of the river, very close to our dining room. I worried about the way we said in Kishui, maybe next year, this year, a lot of wild beasts can be dead for there because when we are there, we save them. And that's why we have that name of Enkishui. We need them alive. But I think we want to call them through phone, say that wild beasts, take care of yourself because no one is there. So go and find any other crossing point instead of going to damage yourself at that bank. So I worried about that for sure because I understand the wild beasts, they like to cross there. We have a lot of time to chase them, maybe 7 times a day to save because so this year, unless the rangers go there to say hello, and I think it's difficult. So
yeah.
No,
for sure. It's going to be amazing getting back there next year. I mean, it's a year and a bit away, but it's going to go quick. It's going to be amazing seeing you guys there again. Guys, if you're watching, thank you so very much for joining us. If you have any other questions or you would like to follow Dickson, Billy, John, and myself on Instagram, send us an email, a direct message. You can reply to the email that you got when you confirmed this particular webinar, and I will send all of that to you. Also, for those of you that have been to the Mara, please remember we are running a bit of an initiative to raise funds for the Mara Conservancy. They've been hit very hard, obviously with the lack of tourism, with Corona, and also with rains and floods and things like that. So if you want to find out more, please go and look at the Wild Eye Instagram feed. We'll share some more of that tomorrow. But thank you for your time, guys. Jono, Billy, Dickson, thank you. It's great seeing you all. This will be up on YouTube from tomorrow midday, and we'll chat as we go. Guys, Sakaya, Billy, Jono, thank you so very much. Everybody else watching, thank you so much for your time, and we will see you all online. Easy as that. From all of us, we're from Wild Eye. Have a good evening, everybody.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much.